Hello, it's Nikki. Welcome back. I am delighted that you're here. Today I'm talking about bank holidays, and don't worry, before we get started, this is not about hustling harder. This is not about you enjoying your life. This is simply to consistently check in with the stories that you're telling yourself. Because here in the UK, in May, we are having 3 bank holidays. And for people who are in corporate, that is usually a great thing. Brilliant. Yeah, 3 days extra off. Fantastic. But if you're self-employed, or if you're employed and doing a side hustle, if you're juggling kids, we've also had school strikes over here as well. The conversation that we can be in can very quickly escalate into scarcity and not feeling like we've got enough time or resources, or just feeling the pressure of all of that. And I remember being at home with my little one when I first became a mum in 2015, suddenly being shocked that the amount of time I had in the week, day or night, was suddenly A, not my own, and B, very unpredictable, and C, not what it was at all. And so I had to think in a very different mindset, and to be at peace with the fact that things were going to have to be flexible or change slightly, and I would have to learn to work with them rather than feel resentful towards them. Because when you're a new parent, you don't want to resent your baby. You don't want to wish for your old life back. And, you know, it's a glorious, brilliant, joyful thing. And I think that so many people that I work with in terms of my coaching practice, sometimes they do have to work in a slightly different way because they're having all sorts of other responsibilities or things. And people out there will tell you, you just got to work harder. You just got to get up an hour earlier. And yes, sometimes those things really work, but sometimes they don't as well. So instead of perhaps begrudging these bank holidays or feeling like every other day of this month going forward has to be squeezed and you're constantly in catch-up mode, I wanted to give you 10 things today, some exercises to play with. And these are really, really simple things that you can have in the back of your head, in the back of your mind. Maybe you might have a notes section on your phone that you can jot some ideas down. But I'm all about finding a way through these things. So I hope they're useful for you. Number 1, this is an opportunity to get inspired. So sometimes bank holidays can throw up family occasions or days out or doing things in the garden that you don't have time on a day-to-day basis to do. And I did that over the weekend. I really got inspired from being outside and feeling that sun on my back. I know, who knew? And I got really into the nature of the garden. We've been in this house over a year now, and we're really getting to know it and understand it. Bank holidays and weekends, if you can, are a great opportunity to get inspired. And not to resent those times where you have to do something other than work. What I find is if I become inspired first, if I feel really great about it, I know it's going to have a positive impact on my day or when I go back to my desk. The second thing I want to be aware of, it really gets you to be in the moment. And it allows you to slow down and to really become present. And the thing is that so many of us might create these vision boards, these big life plans, our values, the things that are important to us. And we may put things like spend more time with friends and family, or we'll go and do that day trip, or we'll do that activity as a family, or I'll cook that meal that I saw in a recipe book that I would love to do. And sometimes what can happen is we put these things on our dream life board and we assume that those things are way in the future. And I know that people say this sort of quite scaremongering thing of you'll never be as young as you are today again. And that again makes me take a big inhale of breath. But it's true, you know, life is going on. The weeks, the months, everything is kind of moving on forward. And so it's a really good reminder as the police come to begin now, to start this process right now, to do it right now, to bring that vision board to life and get cracking. Number 3, this again was so key when I was in my pregnancies and early days, you know, where you're feeling like you're in a chair feeding or on the sofa or in bed and you're not going very far and you're doing everything one-handed. Create a container for your ideas. This is so invaluable. The amount of blog posts that I was able, because I was blogging all the time at that time, rather than making videos, I would say, the amount of blog posts that I wrote over the course of the week, and then by the time I got to putting it all together, it would take me 15, 20 minutes because I had put together the structure and the kind of bare bones of what that looked like. This is so, so invaluable for capturing those ideas as and when they come, because they will come. When you are doing something else, when your mind is distracted, that is when all of the ideas come to the forefront. So give that a go. Create a container, create a piece of paper, put a notebook in your bag, or maybe a note section on your phone. It's really a lovely place, and create a lovely place for those ideas to slot into. There's no pressure to do anything with them immediately, but you've got them when you need them. Number 4, clean up your space. Now, this doesn't have to be a big overhaul. But when I say clean up your space, it could be that one thing that is really annoying you. For me, my bedside table can get very out of control very easily. It only needs a few cups, a bowl, some gift that my child has brought. And I'm not saying like a birthday gift, like, Mummy, look, I got you a fire engine and a piece of Play-Doh. And what do you think? Books, magazines, random letters, my lights, my hand cream, my water, everything can get really built up. It's the first thing I see in the morning. And so I have to consciously check in with that, because how I begin my day, the state in which I do that is really, really important to me. Equally, my wardrobe. As I say, as we moved a year ago, I kind of found good homes for things, but a year on, it's been a really great opportunity for me to say, do I actually use that? Is there a better way to do this? And on Saturday, I cleaned out the whole of the wardrobe and it felt so good. So now when I go to get dressed in the morning or go and find something, I know where it is. So use that opportunity. And again, we're checking in with that future version of ourselves. I know that future version of herself has maybe got a walk-in wardrobe, is very organized. She's always, whenever I do those visions, I'm like, wow, she's really color coordinated. She's really got it all together. She's really got a system there. And so instead of waiting for that future version to come and tap me on the shoulder, I'm doing it now. Number 5, check in with what you need. This is a great opportunity. Again, when you slow down, when you do something else, sometimes, and I know I've been in this situation so many times, when I finally come to have a day off, that is when all the lurgies come out to play. And sometimes for me, it's a reminder of thinking, you need to slow down and much more often and not just wait for a day off. You need to prioritize your health or your well-being or your stress levels. Really think about what you need. Your body will reveal lots of new stuff to you when you stop and move away from your day-to-day life. Number 6, check in with your beliefs. This is really juicy and needs to be looked at very often, because whenever I get to a stage where I'm like, I think I've nailed that, I think I've rewired my brain, or I think that thing doesn't concern me anymore, it feels like it's a cycle and something new will come to the surface, something that maybe I hadn't even thought about. And so check in with your beliefs. Sometimes when it comes to school strikes, for example, or the summer holidays, I go into that mode of I'm never going to have enough time. Oh my goodness, my to-do list is so long. I feel so stretched. I feel so overwhelmed. How am I going to do all of the things? And actually, what that makes me do is checking in with my beliefs of thinking, A, do I need to do all of the things? Usually the answer is no. And secondly, what do I need to prioritize here? And what are the things that I actually need to do in order to get the result that I want? So check in with your beliefs. Sitting down for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, I know is not the secret to running a successful gig and doing things in a way that feels really good to me. I need so many other parts of my day to work for me. I need to be inspired. I need to exercise. I need to have connection. I need to eat good food. I need to get out and about and see the world. All of those things. So really check in with your beliefs and make sure they are in support of you and that they're actually true. Number 7, what is missing and what is your jealousy telling you? There's nothing like going on a scroll hole adventure where you go on social media and you might have that moment where you think, every single person is having a better time than me. They've figured it out. They've got so much money. They're going to all the places. And I want you to flip that around. So instead of being jealous and saying, oh, it's not fair, see if you can use that jealousy for good. See if that jealousy can be a little nudge to say, oh, I didn't realize that was important to me. Oh, I didn't realize I really want to do something similar. Oh, I didn't really think that I liked that thing that much, but it turns out it's really piqued my interest. See if you can use jealousy as an invitation to get clarity on what it is that you want. 2 more. When I have a few little chunks of time, I use it to try on my dream life. And this is really great, especially if your current situation is like you might have small children about, or you might not have the money in your bank account. You might not have the ability to just get up and go. What I like to do when I have these moments is I like to dream. So I remember, I can't even remember what holidays it was, but it was really dark and gloomy outside. And it was at that point of the day where I'd been on my own with the children all day and everybody was just gnarly, grumpy, not feeling it. You know the days. And we talked about, or we had been talking about Costa Rica, because I think one of the children had a book with a sloth in it, and so it went on. I decided to then begin to research Costa Rica and look at really beautiful, indulgent, glorious hotels. I looked at the scenery. I looked at the water. I looked at the kind of wildlife you would have there. And I begun to try that on. I only did it for about 20 minutes, but I tell you what, it felt fantastic. So even if your current reality is not giving you your dream life, begin to try it on. You can do it from the safety of your own home, your own bed, with a cup of tea, and you can do it on your laptop with your internet connection. You can go anywhere in the world. Take the opportunity. It's always going to make you feel great. Number 10, plan the next one. So if you're watching this today and it's a bank holiday, or even if you're watching it and you're like, oh gosh, yes, we've got another half term coming up, or another 6 weeks holiday, or school strikes, whatever it might be. what are you going to plan into the others? And this doesn't have to be some big extravaganza epic plan. This could be you just gleaning some information from what you learned this time and say, right, okay, now I know this. Next bank holiday, I am going to get up early and go to the garden centre because I know that I want to be in nature that day. Or on the Sunday before the bank holiday, I'm going to go and recipe test, not recipe, go and look for some recipe books. I'm going to go to my local library. I'm going to pick up some recipe books and I'm going to cook something I haven't cooked before and invite my friends round. Whatever it might be. Enjoy the planning stage, enjoy experimenting and reconnecting with what it is that you want. If you want to do something today and you're like, actually, I want a structure, I want to be in flow. Yes, I do have lots of ideas. I need to get them down on paper. Go to my goal setting page on my website. It's perfect if you want to reconnect with yourself. And really think about what's working, what's not, where you go next, what this blend of your life and business is going to be. It's a really great one. It's now live. It's called The Magic of Practical Goal Setting. Go ahead. You can access it immediately. And I'll see you in the next one. All right. Lots of love. Bye.